report from the Center for Immigration Studies says about 51% of immigrants get at least one kind of welfare benefit. Come on in. Dan Stein, President of the Federation for American Immigration Reform. All right, Dan, what kind of welfare are we talking about?
Well, these are immigrant-headed households we're talking about. The data is based on the Census Income and Population Participation Survey. We're talking about Medicaid, food stamps, school lunch programs, variety of anti-poverty programs, and even immigrant-headed households who've been here more than 20 years. They show 48% of those households are using one of those forms of welfare. Obviously, public education is also a big cost here. So,
well, wait a second, Dan. Now, these folks that you're talking about, they are legal immigrants. They're not illegals across the border. These are legal immigrants. They stood in line. They did the paperwork. They arrived here. They got the visas. They got the green cards. And they're on welfare? Half of them? Really? Legal
and illegal. So it's combined. The Census Bureau doesn't always make that distinction. But the point is, even legal immigrants, Stuart, coming here, get on welfare, in large part because if you have 2 years of college or less, your income earning ability is such where if you're trying to raise a family, you're still going to need public assistance of some kind or another, food stamps in particular. So it's really basically an income redistribution program that's going on at a time when you have Americans who are out of the labor force, wages have been flat and stagnant. You see the tremendous impact of importing all this low-skilled, low-wage labor has actually not only displaced Americans and reduced wages, but is costing taxpayers millions of dollars.
What would you do about it? What would you do? Would you say, right, you come here legally or illegally, no welfare, period, you can't have it?
Stuart, you see broad variations in where people come from, certain regions of the world. Central Americans have very high welfare use participation rate. Southeast Asian, much, much lower. But the most important thing is, are you selecting for skills composition or a merit system? Are you actually selecting immigrants based on what they know, not who they know? Nepotistic family chain migration, Trump administration said bad, can't continue it. Move to a merit system and admit a principal alien, unmarried, minor children, and spouse, and that's it. Don't have, extended family brothers and sisters because that de-skills the flow, costs taxpayers millions or billions of dollars, and displaces American workers.
So am I right in saying that President Trump favors an immigration plan, an immigration system that would not allow someone who comes here legally to walk away with food stamps or earned income tax credit or anything else? Is that the system that the president wants? No welfare for immigrants, period. That's what he wants?
Yeah, he wants an immigration system that serves we, the American people, for a change. They're talking about revitalizing the old public charge bar for immigrants using welfare. They're out of here. This would be, of course, very contentious, but that's what the law has been since about 1916. It says you don't come here to take taxpayer money. If you're going to come here, you've got to have the income earning ability to make a contribution and be able to earn enough to cover your costs and not drain the social safety net.
Do you think that public opinion, the tide, is switching a little more towards your position and away from the left?
Well, there's no question about it that it's a slam dunk in terms of this is why, Stuart, this and trade are the two issues that got Trump elected. You look at those major areas of the country where Hillary Clinton lost in key states, people feel like they've been left behind, whether it's the globalization of financial markets or what have you, the loss of a sense of national unity and coherence, or the sense that the social license of capitalism has left a little guy behind in this globalization. Americans want and yearn for a patriotic nationalism that thinks about the welfare of Americans and the importance of an economic system that actually raises up the living standards for American workers, not just foreign-born.
Okay, Dan, we hear you. Come back and see us again soon. Thanks. Dan Stein.